Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Molly, and I'm going to be uploading some teaching videos to help you understand more about astrology, spirituality, consciousness, energy, all kinds of good stuff. And I wanted to start with this quick video on how we look at astrology charts for the full moons and the new moons. So I'm going to look at a chart here that is from the Mountain Astrologer, January 2018. This is a wonderful magazine that's published every 2 months. You can find it in usually at bookstores, sometimes Whole Foods. I know you can also just subscribe online and you receive it in the mail, which is what I do. It has great information every month about astrology, different ways to learn astrology. This one's about the future of Europe. They do a lot of information on how to simply understand astrology in more ways. So great articles, and of course, lots of good updates about what is coming up in the year ahead or in the few months ahead. So today I want to look at the upcoming Capricorn New Moon, January 16th and 17th. And of course, give credit where credit is due to Emily Trinkus, who wrote this write-up on this new moon. But what we're going to focus on here is how to look at a chart, okay? Because I think that's a great way to start understanding more about astrology in your own world. So this right here, the circle, is known as an astrology chart. And you can see that it has, these are the different houses here where the numbers are. First house, second house, third house, going all the way around to 12 houses. Right here are the actual houses. So these are the planets that are in this house, okay, in the first house. Right here, this point is known as the ascendant of a chart. Up here is known as the midheaven. I'll just write that out for you. Over here, descendant. Down here, it's known as the IC. So the astrology chart, when we look at this, we look at, well, where are the energies of the planets? And what are these energies telling us? How are they working together? How are they interacting? What are the main messages of the energies? So we look at what the energy is for this upcoming Capricorn New Moon. You can see here, this is the time. It's exact at 6:17 p.m. or 2:17 a.m. GMT. And we take a snapshot in time of where the planets are. So what we do then first is find the moon and the sun, and they're going to be conjunct here. And they are conjunct at 26 degrees of Capricorn. And when planets are conjunct, that means they are on top of each other. They are at this very exact point. So you have the sun and the moon that meet up in a new moon once a month at the same exact degree, which is 26 degrees here, and the same minute, 24 minutes, okay? Now we look at, well, are there any other planets hanging out at the same part of the zodiac? And yes, there is. Right here we have Venus. She's at 28 degrees of Capricorn. And then over here we have our buddy Pluto, who's at 19 degrees. So right here is where we start telling the story of the energy of the new moon. So we see that Venus is here. So she is going to add money. She's going to add the importance and responsibility of money to this new moon. She's going to add our relationships. She's going to add in more about what we find important, worthy, beautiful, meaningful as we start this first new moon of 2018. Now, Pluto is 7 degrees away from the sun and the moon. 7 degrees would be considered a wide orb, but it still has a signature here because Pluto is close enough that we can feel that energy. And the Pluto energy is always power, transformation, change. It tells us that something meaningful under the surface needs to come up for our awareness and our understanding. So these 4 planets together here, the sun and the moon, Venus and Pluto, are setting the stage and really putting in the energy imprint of this first new moon. All of these energies are in Capricorn, which means we have a sense of duty. responsibility, work, career. What is our contribution to the world? Where are you being called to own your expertise, to be paid for it, to understand it, to master it? This is a very powerful new moon. It's really a no-nonsense new moon. It means that 2018 is going to be a big year for transformation and stepping into more of your self-mastery, understanding more about who you are, what you're here to do, and how you are actually doing that out in the world. So all of these planets that are in Capricorn answer to Saturn, because Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, which is right here. And Saturn is also in Capricorn right now. So it's really a time of seriousness, not only in our lives, but in our minds. See how right here is Mercury. Mercury is conjunct Saturn. I mean, we have 6 planets in Capricorn at this new moon. So it is really about how we're activating the Capricorn areas of our individual charts and those energies in our lives. A Capricorn new moon is where we set our intentions, our resolutions for the year ahead. What do you want to achieve? What are your goals? What is really important to you? And this is not only important to you right now, but it's for the long term, because Capricorn is about the long term. So we're really getting things underway here in a solid, practical manner. For all the ways in your life you've been wondering and contemplating or perhaps feeling indecisive, this new moon is saying it's time to make a commitment. It's time to commit to yourself and to a bigger goal in your life, a bigger mission. You want to look in your natal chart at Capricorn energy, specifically at this 26 degree point, 26, 27, because that's where this new moon is showing up for you. That's where that energy is really coming in strongly. You'll also want to look at where the 3 degrees of Saturn is, because that's also a really powerful energy point right now too. So every new moon has a chart like this. Every full moon as well has a chart. The other information we can glean here is that we see how over here we have Jupiter and Mars. They are both in Scorpio. They're making what's called a sextile, a supportive sextile to the sun and the moon. This is great for the resources, support from other people. What shows up here is that masculine energy and feminine energies are working well together. They are supporting one another. Whatever is in your heart, whatever is calling to you out in the world, this masculine energy, Mars conjunct Jupiter, is saying you're supported in this, and we're going to bring in the resources that you need to get the job done. So there's a great energy here around money, around manifesting what you need for your next steps. The other thing that's key about right now is that we have all the planets in forward motion. They're all going direct. This is rare, and this means all the winds are at your back, okay? That you're meant to be moving forward. You're meant to be moving forward. The other energy here is that we see with this Mars and Jupiter, well, they are sextiling Chiron and Pisces. And this is our wounds, where we've been healing, where we've been really trying to understand more about our feelings of separation, victimhood, anywhere you have felt at a loss, you felt stuck, you felt like you couldn't stop crying, the vulnerability, where you feel powerless. Our lovely Chiron and Pisces is getting support here from these two power players together. This means you're going to see more about what you've been healing. This is where you get insights, intuitive insights, emotive insights, because these are both water signs, and they're saying you're meant to be healing this. You're ready. You're ready for the next steps. You're ready to understand this on a deeper level and to get the wisdom, to get the truth. And the truth will feel good in your heart. It'll feel good in your soul. It'll feel good because you understand the bigger picture. Really beautiful energies. This Chiron also sextiles the new moon, so you could feel a turning point in whatever you've been healing. You could feel that sense of You've gone as far as you can go with something, and now you're ready for the next phase of it, the next part of it. You're not stuck anymore. It's really quite lovely. Now, the other fascinating thing here about this new moon, so sun and the moon, right, is that it's being squared right here by Uranus at 24 degrees of Aries. And that means a breakthrough, which can be a breakdown, which can be that sense of I'm over it, I'm done. There's an impatience with Uranus in Aries. There's a sense of I don't want to do this anymore. If you haven't been in touch with your true self, this is what's going to break out and break through for you. This energy, Uranus in Aries, is the awakener. It's the part of you that says, I don't even want that anymore. That isn't even who I am. But all the all the Capricorn energy up here says you have to slow down. You can't be impulsive. You need to think it through. You need to make responsible long-term choices. So there's a friction here between the fact that you've realized something, you understand it, you're clear about it, and you're done with it. And so you have all this energy coming up that is just ready to burst out of you. But then all of these planets right here in Capricorn are saying, slow it down, take your time, be diligent, be responsible, be focused with this stuff. Don't just think you can plow right through, but you want to take your time and do what's right for the long term. So there could be a little bit of an impatience with this new moon where you're just so ready to get going and so ready to start something, and you don't want to be patient. It depends how well you have worked with Capricorn energy, how you have trusted the timing in your life. But this energy is saying that you're supported for the long term here if you can just trust that you're meant to go slower at times. Capricorn is the slow moving energy. It plods along, but it gets there. It's committed. It sticks with the course. So know that we're supported here in what we have to be doing. This new moon is so important because it's the first new moon of 2018. It's the start of 2018's energy astrologically. It is where you're meant to be really clear about what has to happen in your life. It's a maturity. It's an elimination of what is done and gone that you don't need anymore. Capricorn eliminates. It says that doesn't have any purpose for me anymore. That doesn't have any meaning. I'm done. I don't want that. So you get a lot of no's with Capricorn. The kind of no's that help you eliminate, that help you understand you just don't have to put your energy towards something anymore. But wherever the Capricorn energy is in your chart is where you do need to focus and apply more time to this development. Capricorn is about the time it takes to make something happen, the time in a day, the time of a commitment, the time of your life, the time you put into building something, how everything that we commit to takes time, right? You build your business, you put in time for a relationship. It all takes time. So understand that this new moon is asking you to look at how you are willing to invest in the time it takes to put together more practical, purposeful parts of your life. What is that next mountain for you? Where are you headed? Where's the next steps? What has meaning to you for the long term? Get away from the nonsense. Step away from the short term or the temporary things. Step away from the pettiness or the gossip or the drama or anything that is not really what you're all about. And come back to focusing on what are you about for the long term and what matters to you in your life. So this energy is asking you to stand on a mountaintop and to look at the meaning in your life and where you are willing to direct your efforts in the year ahead. But we're also going to come back to this energy for 3 years because Saturn just entered Capricorn, where he's going to be there until 2020. And so we're actually planning for 3 years. This new moon that's right here, see that? January 16th, 17th. It is a new moon that begins a 3-year cycle of energy in your life. 3 years. It's that big, my friends. So take the time right now to get these intentions clear. Write it out. Do a list. Write a letter to yourself. Do something that cements the goals. And you could just write down, say you write down, your top 5 goals. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a vision board. Write it out and put it somewhere so that you see it, okay? So you remember the bigger picture, the long-term goal, where you're headed, where you're going. That's really what this new moon is all about. So I hope this has helped you understand a little bit more about how we look at new moon energies. I'm teaching a Astrology 101 introductory class that you can find the link for here on my YouTube channel. It begins January 20th. It is a 6-week online class where you learn about your natal chart and you learn what is your life purpose, your soul mission. You learn more about who you are becoming in this life. You learn more about what you're healing, your spiritual gifts, all of that. I love teaching this class. I've taught it for 4 years now, and it's such a rewarding way to understand the big world of astrology and how it works for you on a more personal level. My focus is as an evolutionary astrologer. I'm an intuitive. So when I look at a chart and when I look at your energy, we tune in to more of what you're about and what you're here to do. So understand that you have many tools right now, and I hope that this snapshot of the upcoming energy helps you put together the pieces around what your assignment is right now. I'll be back with more videos and more astrology updates very soon. See you later.